things, and you would know the maps of consciousness, exactly where everything's located in the multi-cosmoses that exist as, the God-mind expression. And so, it becomes something that's a technical thing. It's not just some nebulous thought of a Holy Spirit and come and save me. It's not just something that you're waiting for someone else to do for you. It's something that you will be doing yourself through understanding the technology, applying the technology, and as you do open up the spins and flows and corridors of living light structure within your own anatomy, and get all the directions and everything else going in your own structure, what you'll find is the parts of consciousness that descend down to you in your transmutative process of transfiguration, they already hold the knowledge of what we're teaching. The teaching of the structure is held in high dimensionalized forms. And it's not like you're going to learn it. You're just going to start practicing the techniques to get you back into the right pattern of the flow of your natural, original, organic structure. And as it starts to flow in, you say, oh, I know that. I already know that. And you do know it, because that's what you are. You have stepped down. You are God, Source, stepping itself down into incarnation. With all the other incarnate selves that are here, is God finding itself everywhere. And because there's only God, right? And you're an individuated, indivisible part of that God Source that you know yourself as you. But the problem is, you've been programmed by this world of delusion and you've got a false identity. And you've got to bring now that Christ mind back into the reality and restructure yourself through the technology. It's called creation science. It's creation knowledge. It's the knowledge of all energy forms and how they take shape and how they work. And I was talking about Partakai phasing, how flashline sequences work, how consciousness flashes into light and sound. Sound is vibration, light is oscillation. You got electric, magnetic, you got, all the different differentials of polarity are held, within the pulsing of flashing off and on. And I don't know whether everyone was in the room when I was talking about the hologram of existence. And, if you were to look at your computer screen there, and you realise that on your computer you have a timing chip that flashes the projection of light in the various colour forms onto the screen, and it's flashing off and on through a timing chip at many, many times a second. You can't see the flashings off and on. You can't see it going off and on, but it appears just as a solid state existence there on the screen. But that picture, the pixels are flashing off and on. Well, it's the same with your hologram. When you're going from sound, contraction, vibration, potential into unleashing light oscillation, you're going from oscillation, vibration, sound and light. So as you flash on, it's a light emission. When that comes back and contracts, it's a sound. So it's sound, light, flash off and on. So you're flashing off and on the pixels of your hologram, so to speak, at a very high frequency of computation, because you're sharing a mind of computation with many other creatures on the planet. So if you can imagine in this density, you are projecting the thoughts of your mind, which are images or pictures. You're flashing them onto the screen of the hologram, which is all around you in your auric field. You're flashing them into your field of observation from your own mind, from your centralized projector. You're flashing them on there in this density at 33 1/3 trillion times per nanosecond, or 33 1/3 trillion times per billionth of a second. That's how fast the flash off and on of the hologram is. And so when you move your hand in front of your face, in the morphogenetic field that holds the template for matter manifestation of the multidimensional structure of your own computation of consciousness, as you're moving the image of your hand across in front of your face, your consciousness is flashing off and on the image of your hand from one space-time location to another through the computation of a projection of the energy signature through the morphogenetic field, which gives it an appearance of moving matter in space and time. I said, just like around a circus tent, you've got the light bulbs around the circus tent, and you look at them, it looks like one light bulb is flashing and moving along and dropping down, starting again, flashing and dropping down. It's like one light bulb's flashing around. Well, that's a flash line sequence of a certain pattern through the computer that's driving those light bulbs. But if you can imagine the complexity of the holographic producer of the mechanics of your own hologram of existence, if you can imagine how wonderful the structure of your biological form is in flashing the exact precise angles through the crystalline structure of the morphogenetic field of your own entity reality, flashing the imprint of your own identity into the holographic field of your own awareness, and the presentation that you put in your own space-time place of yourself, or what you think you are. You've been programmed by outside sources and you're presenting a false image. But could you imagine what it would be like if you were able to pull the frequencies of your higher mind right down and present the true image of the living offspring of God right here now? I mean, you wouldn't be seen by carnal minds. No one would behold you. But you can change slowly by DNA accretion and building the DNA strands of holographic projection. It's built on light and sound. And so a phonon is a stored imprint of a standing scalar wave field that's stored down as a DNA resonant signature, an encryption code and a mathematical code of your biological form through all the cells of your body. And it's emanating a light signature. So the sound creates light. And so your light body of expression here in the hologram is a holographic expression of your own mind through the DNA constructs. Well, the DNA constructs of your body form is a genetic inheritance. It's passed down through the generations, and that's not what you are. It's a distortion. But when you receive the incorruptible seed of the eminence and radiance of the glory of the whole majesty of your original signature of your Christed being, you'll radiate the glorious, wonderful, beautiful creature that you truly are. And you can connect into the higher dimensional structures of your own consciousness and upgrade the atomic structure, of the 15-dimensional layers of your body, how they all play together and intermingle and enmesh with one another in a holographic program of computation to present the image. You can change that image. You can bring the construct of high-dimensional elemental constitution back into your own anatomy. You can regenerate the dilapidated body that you currently carry about. You can regenerate it. And Jesus demonstrated that. He said, I'm out of here. I'm not this. That's why he didn't defend the body. They got him in, and they nailed that representation of the carnal commands onto the cross. The carnal commands that were always against us were nailed to the cross. Those genetic codes that represent the body. He didn't defend that body. He said, that's not me. He could have called on 12 legions of angels, the Bible said, to get him down from there. But he said, I'm not going to defend this flesh and blood body of unreality. That's not me. And so, the story goes, they killed him, and then afterwards, 3 days, he resurrected, and he was transfigured before them, and he rose up into a new body form, and he disappeared from sight. They could no longer behold him with their carnal minds of projection and perception. They couldn't see the reality, And so when you let the reconstitution of your vessel come through higher elemental flows from above and within and around and through the inner kingdom and into the auric field of your own anatomy, you're going to upgrade the biological computer to the incorruptible seed. You're going to emanate and radiate the glory of a new body, indestructible, eternal, immortal, perpetual motion body that can traverse space and time and move anywhere within the living systems of this universal complex, within the cosmic mind. You're going to do it, because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn that the true teaching must come through. You're not here to lay your body down to dust. Admittedly, in the teachings that I'm learning, you can lay your body down to dust if you're not able to accrete what is necessary here to transfigure your body. As long as you're on the pathway of ascension through the true teachings and alignments, if you get your DNA accretion up to about 4.5, you can actually lay the body down back to dust, but you have transmuted all of the genetic codes in it, and your soul fabric has picked up the imprint of your upgrade, and next time you incarnate, you can be transported into another space-time location because you're able to transport, and you can find evolutional cycles in another ascending planet somewhere in the same density, or maybe the next one up, maybe even into harmonic universe 2. So there are ways you can lay the body down, but you must certainly be accreting DNA strand activation and aggregation. You must be bringing it into yourself intentionally through true alignment and true practice and practice of the techniques. The way that this works is we're using command tones, and the command tones are in the Anahazi language, which is the first language that was given to the seeding programs of regenesis on the earth. In other words, the first written and spoken language given to the human angelics, who are the guardians of the earth in the ascension process. And the Anahazi is a language that would give commands to open up inner gateway portals of alignment within yourself, and also external gateways of interdimensional restructuring. I keep on talking a little bit about language because the English language is very shut down, especially with the way it's been distorted through current education programs on the planet. And it's a manipulation to shut down the neurological pathways of your mind, because every element of speech creates an element of matter manifestation, and it will create a reality in your hologram. So if you can activate the neurological pathway of your mind through true language processes, you can open constellations of thought into higher dimensions that would bring that dimensional thought down into extension into your hologram that would transfigure your reality here. So language is very, very important. And because language is so important, the Anahazi language is the language that we use basically in this work to give commands to open certain alignments and portals, and to give calls to certain parts of consciousness to